The Carolina Panthers shock most of the NFL and take a wide receiver at pick number 8. We are here to break it down.
Brace yourself for the ultimate Carolina Panthers experience. Welcome to Two Growls, One Roar, the podcast that hits harder than a Luke Kuechly tackle. We're diving deep into the heart of Panther Nation, bringing you unrivaled passion, insider takes, and pure gridiron fire. From Wilmington to the cosmos, this is your home for the fiercest football talk east or west of Charlotte.
Welcome in, folks, to another edition of the Two Growls, One Roar podcast. This is my rapid reaction post-draft breakdown of the Carolina Panthers selection of taking T-Mac. Tet does not like to go by Tet McMillan at pick number 8. Man, if you guys followed along in the live stream, we were watching this play out, and it was what we would probably think of as a dream scenario for the Carolina Panthers. You see Mason Graham go off the board, which was, expected, but you sit there with the possibility of Mykel Williams if he's your guy, T-Mac, as well as Jalen Walker, Walter Nolan. All those guys available on the board. We also, right before the pick, with the Jets on the clock, getting news from Adam Schefter that the Carolina Panthers were fielding calls. We also heard from Dan Morgan and Dave Canales in the press conference this evening that he was very high up on the board. They calls, but the offer wasn't good enough. It was not good enough. And so the Carolina Panthers decide to give Bryce Young another weapon. And it's funny, I've been talking about T-Mac since this whole thing started. I go back all the way to January 12th, have the receipts. He was one of the first players that I had on the board for the Carolina Panthers. And of course, he ends up landing here. Now we can take a look at the state of the Carolina Panthers today. A lot of money was spent in this offseason on the defensive side of the ball. Defense needed help. They added depth, but a lot of folks still felt like the Carolina Panthers needed more, that they should look at an edge, that they should look at a linebacker, that they should look at a versatile player like Jalen Walker. But they decide to pivot, at least from the standpoint of what we have been kind of reading, and go with a wide receiver. It could be the future of this franchise. The Carolina Panthers now in back-to-back years take a wide receiver in the first round. Last year trading up at the very end of the first round to get Xavier Legette. It's wild times, man. As this is a rapid reaction, I'm kind of just spitballing facts for you guys and my thoughts. I don't know that I'm a fan, and I will come around to it. Like, it's going to make sense. And on one hand, I do look at the room with XL, with Adam Thielen, with Jalen Coker, and David Moore, and say, yes, this is an immediate upgrade. It's something Bryce Young needs. The Panthers were not going to be able to get a pick, a trade, or someone – I shouldn't say a pick. We're not going to be able to get someone via a trade or free agency that could be this impactful. Bryce Young pounded the table is what it sounds like. I mean, you go back and listen to this press conference from T-Mac just a few minutes ago as I record this, and he said Bryce Young was a big advocate. Both of these are Cali guys or West Coast guys. They've been throwing. They threw together at a camp like a month ago or so. So the connection was there. Size-wise, yes, this is what this team needs. A 6'4" wide receiver that can do a lot of good things, coached up by, of course, Dave Canales, one of the best wide receiver coaches there is. I mean, that's all he's been doing for 10 years practically, is coaching up wide receivers. So when you look at it from that standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. What we don't know, and I don't know that we will ever know, is the trade scenarios that were on the table. What was available for the Panthers? Was there something compelling that would have been better to have an additional guy or two? Panthers chose and said when it fell the way they did, they were at first sweating, waiting to see what Cleveland was going to do. And then, of course, Las Vegas and then the Jets. But all signs felt like it was pointing to giving them a chance to trade for T-Mac. And when he fell there, they felt like they had to take him. Like that was their only choice. They felt, I'm guessing they probably had him as like their number one or number two prospect on the board with at least who they thought would be available. And so you go up. And we never know, like if Mason Graham would have been there, maybe that would have been the pick. But they go offense. And now the Panthers, as of today, are going to be sitting and waiting until pick 57. They have 8 more draft picks available. So there's a lot that they can still do. They could package things up, move around, move up, move down. But it's going to be, I would think, heavily focused on the defense here out, especially in the second and third round, day 2. They only have the 2 picks right now. And then we get into the final day of the draft. There's value in round 4 and round 5, and the Panthers have a lot of picks in that range. Should they keep all those picks, there's a lot of talent and depth they can add. It's a good draft to pick up defense late. I just would have liked it a little bit earlier. We're going to celebrate it, though, at least from our perspective. And you know what? Panthers decided to give Bryce his guy. As always, folks, we'll be back with a much deeper breakdown of all the prospects of everything that goes through. This is Carolina Dad. Y'all have a good one.